Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, a very warm welcome. Today we are at a Caetano Mercedes-Benz dealership because we're going to get the 9G gearbox service done on my SLC43. Now you know me, you know I like to do things myself. However, seeing people try and do this service on the internet, on YouTube, they don't necessarily get it right. So I'm here to get it done at Mercedes, to one, get it done right, but also hopefully show you guys the steps involved to help you see how it should be done correct. So we're going to have a look around the dealership and we'll hopefully get some footage of the technician doing the actual service of the gearbox for you. So let's go inside and I'll show you around.
It sound right, boys.
So the dealership recently had a refit. I think it was last year actually. It's really nice facilities, a good display of cars. Obviously we'll be in the workshop area, so we'll be seeing a different view of this all. But I'll just show you what's in the showroom at the moment. The new CLA's a rather nice car, to be fair.
It sound right, boys.
Some really nice relaxation areas here as well. So we'll get ourselves booked in, hopefully meet the technician and start showing you what's involved in this gearbox service. So looking at the parts that are needed, I will put up on the screen as well the list of parts, but you basically have the oil filter and pan. It's a new pan that goes on, and inside we have new screws. We have the filler tubes. I think there's a couple of screws there as well, which are for the torque converter to be drained as well. And then of course you have the oil. Now Mercedes do tend to like charging you per litre for the oil that goes in, but the more cost-effective way of doing this is actually to buy 2 lots of 5-litre bottles of the ATF fluid. Works out cheaper and you get some left over as well for yourself. Now that is a really nice G-Wagon there. The car ready to go up on the lifts. The first steps are pretty easy, straightforward. It's a matter of draining. You'll notice that when they drain, they use a special key to unlock the drain hole. We'll show you that hopefully when the car goes up. One thing I do notice is how dusty the engine bay has got. I'm definitely going to have to give that a clean at some point. Obviously this is the gearbox pan that we need to replace. Here is where it drains, and you'll see the key that goes into it to unlock it and allow the draining initially. Quite a good time to inspect the complete underneath of the car. Ooh, looking good. Interestingly, the technician just warned me regarding my brakes they need doing. Yes, we know that will be something coming to the channel very soon. And this is where the technician's now going to get the correct key to open up the drain. There we go.
Like the morning.
So that's the drain plug opened. Now inside is the key being used to turn it to allow the drain in now.
You can see me like Illuminati, but I'm shining so
The key, depending on which way it's turned, depends on whether it's being filled or, in this case, drained. As you can see, this will now drain.
can't tell if I like ya. Gotta make sure you know how to shake it like a bartender. Team with me and they all winners. And you know we ballin' all winter, all summer. Jewelry around my neck is lightning, but I'm all thunder. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it, yeah. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it.
We'll get ready for the pan to drop because there'll still be amounts of oil in there, which will hopefully catch in that bowl there.
Ain't no way rhythmic feet up in this place. If you can't catch the feeling, then get out the way. I've been reeling and fish from the lake.
So we're kind of holding the pan whilst I'm doing the last two bolts because, as I say, there's going to be a lot of oil still in there. Quite messy and difficult, but yes, there's still an amount of oil in the in this pan. So here we go.
Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it, yeah. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it.
And there's the amount of oil still left in. Well done. Minimal mess. And there's our 9G with all the solenoids and the control plate. So they're the easy steps that I guess most people can get okay, but it's the putting the oil back in that's the bit that a lot of people get wrong, which we'll cover. So the under trays are being removed, probably to get to the torque converter, to drain the torque converter. There's a small bolt on the torque converter that needs to be undone. So this is what we're doing at the moment. So here we're checking to see if it has the bolt to drain the torque converter, because not all do. So we're just moving the little cover to check. So they're just turning the torque converter to see if it does have the drain bolt on it. As I say, some do, some don't. So this is what they're doing at the moment. If you can see up there. Oh, yep, there we go. There's the bolt. So ours does. So that will be undone and then they'll drain from there. Oh, okay, maybe the drop bolt wasn't fully out, so now it's going to be out. We've got the pan ready to take some. I don't think a lot really comes out of the torque converter, but it's still worth doing. the special key. So this stage is to fill. Is this to fill the fill stage?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the
Drain,
drain stage, and this is how the key works in the funnel. Okay.
Close.
And that's closed. The ultrasonic tool would go here, and that part goes in that socket there, and then they use the ultrasonic tool to verify the level, the correct level. And this is the bit that YouTubers miss when they try and do it themselves. They don't do the ultrasonic verification, they call it. Okay. Meanwhile, as you can see, the torque converter is still draining, so it's a slight process of waiting for this to finish its draining, really, because you want to get out as much old oil as possible before you put in the new oil. So yeah, this we just have to wait for it to stop its draining from the torque converter now. So it's stopped draining now, and now we're just cleaning up the area. Yeah, the torque converter stopped its weeping. Great care is taken of the car. Inside this gearbox, you have an electronical pump, and you have up here a mechanical one. So this gearbox has two pumps, as I say, one electronic and one mechanical. Okay, so our new oil pan with the filters is going to be offered up in place. Okay, so that's the pan in place, and obviously they will then do the other screws all around. I think these screws are torqued to something like 8 Newton meters or something like that. It won't be tight, it won't be overly too much torque put on them. And the pan has a seal built into it, which is like your gasket, and that's built into the top of the new pan. Finally, in goes the torque converter bolt. Now that it's fully drained, this is a new bolt. One of the parts that you purchase from Mercedes is a new bolt with a new little seal gasket on it. That's back in, and they'll just put the bung back in the hole there, and all these wires will all go back in place. And then it's the filling stage. So all the screws are being torqued now. I think it's 8 Newton meters. Then I will check later, but we're just checking all the torque of them all now. So this is the fill tool that's, or should I say plug, that goes on. And what they do is they now pump the ATF onto this so that it can start filling. So this is the ATF fluid. You see it's yellow in colour. This is the fluid that's now going to go into the machine and get pumped up into the gearbox. Now we've bought 2 lots of 5 litres. I don't think it's going to take that much. We should have some left over. But this is how it will now go up the pipe and into the gearbox. Now there are tools that you can buy online that do the same sort of pumping action, so that's not really too much of an issue. But as I said to you, once you get the oil to a certain level and a certain temperature, you then have to really check it here using the ultrasonic, and that's the bit where people foul on, because they don't check it and measure it correctly, because they've not done that bit. So initially we do 5 litres, and depending on what the ultrasonic suggests, the Zentry software, so Zentry over here, when it comes back on, so Zentry would say to do maybe 9 litres, but as again, it really depends on what the ultrasonic comes back with. And this is why it's important to get it done correctly, because these gearboxes are they really need the correct levels filled in. So initially we've got the 5 litres going in, and then it will get checked and with the ultrasonic, and then they put in as needed. The technician has clarified it's 5 litres initially, then we start the car, get it I guess up to temperature while it goes through the gears, then you add an extra maybe 2.5 litres, and then you use the ultrasonic. So we're starting, when you do the ultrasonic bit, you start at about 7.5 litres, and then you will know whether to put more or maybe take some away. This is partly because although we've drained the torque converter and the gearbox pan, there would still be fluid in the system, in the pipes for instance. So you're not going to know, and that's why it's important to do the ultrasonic part, so that it really gets an accurate measurement. By the way, that tool from Mercedes, the ultrasonic tool, is a lot of money, but that's possibly why a lot of people skip that part. But it's really important to get it accurately read, and as I say, with the ultrasonic they would do that. So it's 5 litres, and then they'll turn the car on, go through the gears, put the other 2.5 in, and then do the ultrasonic testing to verify what level it's at and whether more needs to be put in or taken out. So yeah, just got that clarified by the technician.
Create pressure in the system.
Yes. Okay. But keep my foot on the brake.
Yeah. Brake.
Yeah.
Or
okay. Okay. So I'm going to go through the gears now. So we're going to go forward, then reverse, then forward. Or should I say reverse? Sorry. And then forward. And it's just to build pressure. How many times do we keep doing? We do this for quite a few times. Okay. Into park. Engine off. Okay. Just checked, and there's no leaks, so the seal is good. And I guess they do the other 2.5 litres now, and then they do the ultrasonic verification. So here we have on Zentry. Obviously, it's in Portuguese.
Okay. The start motor.
Yes.
In the 2800
RPM. Okay. Yes.
For test.
Yes. So Zentry is saying to put the engine on and start at 2,800 RPM revs, so that you can start doing the testing. So the car is now on, and as you can see, the Zentry is reading what's actually going on. And it would then be able to identify when the temperature is at the right temperature for the automatic transmission fluid, so that they can then start the tests. Yes, you can see the RPMs now. So it needs to be at 2,800. Okay, you can see that Zentry is giving the instructions and knows exactly what's going on. Yeah, you can see it changing. And it's got the temperature there as well. Yeah. See the temperature going up? Well, soon it will. You can see here the range of temperature. It's between 30 and 75 degrees Celsius. And at the moment we're at 44, so we're within that range. So what Zentry is showing here is that at this moment, for normal operation, it's good. The middle number is within the range. It's 50 and 58 being maximum, but we're at 54.6. So at this temperature, for normal use, this is good. But to get accurate measurements, that's why you use the ultrasonic. Sorry, because this is just approximate, and this is okay for now. but the ultrasonic will get it accurate for all use, for proper use. So this is the ultrasonic kit. As I say, it costs quite a lot of money, but this is what they will use to check accurately the levels. Okay, so we're now going to be doing the reading, and now we can see the measurement. So this is connected up to that port, the ultrasonic port. Okay, and what does it need to be? What level? What's the figure? What does this need to be?
The same.
Oh, the same. Okay, yeah. Okay. So it needs more putting in. Yeah. Okay. So this needs to reach I think it was 54 millimeters, and this is only 32.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more needs to be put in, and this is how they know accurately how much ATF fluid is in the gearbox. More oil gets put in to get the level higher. So that will be pumped in to, as I say, bring up the measurement to match what Zentry was saying was the correct level of 50, I think it's 54 millimeters or so. So more has been put in, and then we'll read again. Okay. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's good.
The
same, yes. So now we're matching what Zentry says. So this is how the ultrasonic helps them get accurate to what Zentry says they need to be. As you can see, we've used 2 bottles, so we've basically used 8.5 litres to refill this gearbox. And we know it's accurately done because of this tool here. And that is how you correctly fill your gearbox. Okay, so they're just disconnecting the filler tube now. And you see the overflow now comes out. So they put the key back in, and then they turn it to close. And there you go. So the car will now have a little test drive. They get the gearbox oil up to temperature, and once they're confirmed everything's good, then it will come back and have its final under tray put on, and that will be job done. Okay, so it's had its test drive, and it's all dry, it's all good, it's all clean. That's good news. And to finish off the job, we now put the under trays all back in place to complete the job. So the job's complete, and Mercedes Caetano here have done an amazing job, a really good job. The key point of this I want you to bring to your attention is that yes, you see lots of people on YouTube doing this service to their gearbox, but they're not doing it correctly. You really need to use the ultrasound to get the correct, accurate measurement of how much fluid you've got in that gearbox. That tool costs a lot of money and probably just doesn't make it worthwhile buying it, because if you're only doing your one car and this service is every 80 or 70,000 kilometers, it's just not worth it. But it's certainly worth getting it done properly, correctly by Mercedes dealerships, because they do use that ultrasound tool. So if that's the biggest thing you can take from this, is take it somewhere where you're actually going to get a proper accurate reading of that gearbox fluid, because in the long run it will protect your gearbox and you won't have these problems occurring later on down the line because it was incorrectly filled. So until the next video guys, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did anyway, and yeah, see you on the next one.